Morning guys, welcome to a hot, sweaty, sticky, muggy day in Cancun. And today I'm going to tell you why Cancun, for me, is the worst place in the whole of Mexico. This is the hotel zone of Cancun, formerly known as Isla Cancun. And in 1970, this island, which stretched as far as you can see in that way, and as far as you can see in that way, even further probably because you won't be able to see it so much on the camera. This place had a population of 3 people, 3 caretakers from the local coconut production company. In January 1970, the Mexican government bought the island after looking at various other places in Mexico and built 9 hotels here. Fast forward to today, there's over 30,000 hotel rooms here. You can fly here from 30 different countries or 40 different cities in the USA alone. So that's the historical context of Cancun itself. Let me give you a bit of recent historical context about myself. So I've been traveling in Mexico for the last 3 months, and no exaggeration, this is probably my favorite country in the world. And the reasons for that are the weather, the food, the culture, the history, but most importantly, the people. So the weather in Cancun, well, the weather's pretty good. We're by the Caribbean. I mean, look around you. But right now we're in hurricane season. Last week, the tail of a hurricane hit Cancun. In fact, this place is best avoided during the Northern Hemisphere summer. It's hurricane season and you get all this stuff wash up. Sargassum, seaweed, that is plaguing the Caribbean right now. From Cancun, down the Riviera Maya to Belize. This stuff looks bad, it smells bad, and if it touches you, you're going to feel bad as well. It's irritable to the skin. The next thing is the food. So Cancun, being an international destination aimed at international tourists, you can get good international food here, but the Mexican food is diluted. It's not going to be spicy. You're probably going to have salt and mayonnaise and French mustard and tomato ketchup put on your plate. It's not just inauthentic, but it's double, sometimes triple the price of somewhere like Mexico City. History. Well, I've already covered the history. There isn't much history here. You go downtown, you're not going to find spectacular cathedrals. You're not going to find particularly nice plazas. You're going to find shopping malls. You're going to find 6 lanes of traffic. It's like a city in Florida, weather-wise, culture-wise, food-wise, and it is completely designed for the automobile. It's not a walkable city by any means. There are buses and colectivos which will take you places, but they're very informal, and for tourists they're pretty confusing. And this is what I mean about the Americanization of Cancun. So over here we've got a Sam's Club, then we've got Starbucks, Walmart, over here we've got TGI Fridays. This could be any American city. To walk anywhere longer than a kilometre is just unheard of. And I've done it and it's pretty unpleasant. You're gonna get caked in sweat. You're gonna have loads of fumes blowing in your face. There's holes in the pavement. You go down the back streets, there's litter everywhere. You stray off course, you might get eaten by a crocodile. This little lagoon area just off of the hotel zone is not recommended for swimming unless you like encounters with crocodiles. Walking just isn't pleasant in Cancun. Luckily you don't really need to do it. And on the subject of history, you guys might be saying, oh, but what about all the Mayan sites? What about Chichen Itza? Well, yes, correct, Chichen Itza is nearby, but the entrance fee for Chichen Itza is 40 bucks, and you've got to get there and you've got to get back, which is going to cost you at least another 60 bucks. I was in Oaxaca a couple of weeks ago. I went to Monte Alban, another archaeological site, which I personally believe is more impressive than Chichen Itza. That place cost 95 pesos for the entrance and 100 pesos for a bus return journey from Oaxaca city center. Culture. You're not going to find many mariachi bands here. You're not going to find many real authentic Mexican experiences. What you're going to find is nightclubs, strip bars, American style restaurants with a bit of a Mexican flavour to them. Now, I'm not going to pretend I hated this place, guys. I mean, look around you, it's beautiful. It is beautiful. I'm talking in relative terms because I love the rest of Mexico. I really love it. Everywhere I've been, I've had a great time and I've met great people, which brings me to my final point, the people. So Cancun is a planned town. It's built for the tourism industry. So the people here are either tourists or they're working in the tourist industry, which means the people working here are trying to extract money from you, the tourist, which makes it a lot less likely that you're ever going to get a genuine, authentic experience with a Mexican. Now, I've been all over Mexico, from one side to the other, and I've had great interactions with people wanting to show me around. They're so excited about their culture and their history. People have taken me into their homes, given me loads of beers, given me food, and asked nothing in return. Am I going to get that same interaction here in Cancun? It's possible, very unlikely. So don't get me wrong, when I say Cancun is the worst place in Mexico, doesn't mean I hate Cancun. I was here in my 20s. I was lucky enough to come here in a former life as a flight attendant for British Airways and had a great time. Went out clubbing, went to Senor Frogs, went to Coco Bongos, had a crazy time, and then sat on the beach sleeping off the hangover. Great if you want to do that. If you want a butler service, if you want 5-star treatment, great place to come. But for me, this isn't the real Mexico. It's not what I travel for. This is one of the most visited tourist destinations in the world, and it accounts for 1/3 of all of Mexico's tourist revenue. So if you like Florida, if you like the USA, but you want something a little bit different, come to Cancun. It's just like Florida, but you can get better tacos. And that's it from me, guys. Thank you very much for watching. Please let me know your thoughts in the comments. I'll see you next time. Cheers. So don't get me wrong, guys. I don't hate Cancun. It's just that compared to everywhere else in Mexico, this isn't the place for me. Goodbye to Cancun.